Hey everybody, I'm Tyler McClendon. Welcome to Dentist on Demand's podcast series, right as the siren's coming down. Hey everybody, I'm Tyler McClendon. Welcome to Dentist on Demand's podcast series, A Day in the Life. As you know, I'm Tyler, this is Marc Wagner, and we are lucky to have with us the prolific Dr. Bobby Birdi.
How's it going, Ty?
Thank you for being here with us today.
Man. Absolutely.
So we're just going to jump right into it, man. Crazy successful practice. You've got a lot going on, a lot of technology, a lot of everything. Tell us about BC Perio. How did it start? What was your journey like?
Stressful, man.
It's a big question.
It's a lot of work. You know what? BC Perio has been, work in progress. It's been a lot of work just overall throughout time. And just, it came about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And what I did was I just kind of came into town and looked at the market and looked at how things were going. And there were some gentlemen that had practices on for sale, and they were all kind of on this Broadway corridor. And what I did was I kind of said to them, you guys be willing to kind of join powers and come under one roof, and that's how we did that. So initially, Dr. Tim Gould, Peter Munns, and Josh Kleiman, there's 3 Perio practices on this strip, all within a block of each other. This is like, when I first came in town, I couldn't believe this is how things were geographically.
So everybody was right here.
Yeah, everyone's like on one block. Like there's a billion dentists in like a matter of like 3 city blocks. Like it's amazing. And I think it's classically because it was close to the VGH and all that. But and then the space with the view, I didn't like plan on that. What ended up happening was I was looking for a space that was large enough to encompass everything and build out. This space here used to be the College of Physicians of BC, so it used to be like where the medical doctors had their like college and stuff like that. And it was just randomly I think they bought their own building downtown or something like that, and just had time and just had the ability to do it. And lucky at the right place, right time, so we took it,
Picked it up, yeah.
and just built out the practice at that point.
So how long have you guys been here for now?
It's been.
So where we were 777 West Broadway.
Yeah, Unit 501.
Vancouver.
Yeah, Unit 501.
Okay.
And we were, I think we came in it's been about 6 years. It's been about 6 years.
6 years now?
Yeah, it's been about 6 years. And, the beauty of it is that it's just time's flown by, but we've continued to grow. Like since the initial initiation of the practice, we didn't have a lab then. We just had the three specialists and myself. And then we built a satellite office in Coquitlam. And then, so what ended up happening was then Dr. Sokol came on board. We've been talking for a while there, and his office was seriously about 4 blocks away as well. And he wanted to come on in, so we kind of consolidated him under one roof as well, just to consolidate overhead. And then, so we had the ability to do surgery, perio, and then also some prosthetic work, because we had, myself as a prosthetist, but also Dr. Munns there as well. Sorry, Dr. Sokol's there as well. So then, after that, about 2 years ago, Dave Bridger, we got him to come on board as a prosthetist. The reason why is because he's been flirting for a while, but I think it was about the right time at the right place, and he was willing to come in, and it allowed Dr. Edher Faraj to come in and work well too. So it kind of just all fell in place, and what I'm saying is that it's only been because I wanted to either fill a niche or fill a need that we needed. It's not been, just all of a sudden, let's just go and take over the world, right? So it's gone really well so far, and we've got, another associate in periodontist, Dr. Tarzamani, who's at the university full time, and is part of the school.
It's called BC Perio, but you guys are doing so much more than just perio.
Absolutely. So it's called BC Perio Dental Health and Implant Center. It's always been called that from the get-go. And so we do a tremendous amount of perio. We do a tremendous amount of implant surgery. But we have, 3 prosthetonists, and now with Angus Berry and Sari Namkang, we have our own full in-house digital lab with 3D printers and mills and facial recognition stuff. And so it's really become a one-stop shop where we can do everything for a client or a patient, but we can also do anything for a referring office. So a referring office can now send us a patient and they want to say, do the surgery. Okay, I do the surgery, send it back. Or take care of this, I do that and send it back. But if they say, Bobby, this is a really case that's difficult, could you treatment plan it, place implants maybe, or work it up and then send it back so I can take an impression and finish it, we can do that. So in the end, that we can also even use our lab to help make stuff for them too. So in the end, it allows us to become a one-stop shop, but also become a multi-service center to really anyone.
Right.
And that's when we built this place.
Complete with an education center.
Yeah, so that's, we built this place last year,
Yeah.
and this is BC Pro Space, or BC Professional Space. And it's always my dream to have something like this connect to my practice, where it has a couple live operatories where we can do dentistry.
Yeah.
But
these are the ones behind us.
Yeah, it seats about 30 people, and we can do interactive it's like a professional man cave. You know what I mean?
It's like a multimedia center mixed with
we got like
operatory
massive,
back here.
lots of TVs and surround sound and a big screen, and it allows us to have lots of good lectures here and courses, but also rent it out to people from outside of dentistry as well and other professions. So
and you've got the view like back here, like I mean, you're looking right up the West Broadway corridor.
Yeah,
there,
it's nice. So it's lots of air, lots of light, and having it all on one floor, it's all connected. Whenever we run something that's dental based, we just jump back and forth, man. Like it's pretty easy to get back and forth and really get to it, and it's fun, and it ties in with a lot of our courses for DDI, for the Digital Dentistry Institute, which is like I'm partner of that.
You're the
which
Vancouver chapter
yeah,
of that,
yeah.
right?
So I'm a partner in that global organization. We have myself and two other partners. We're in 9 countries now, and we teach courses pretty much at this point. We're the most prolific in course teaching when it comes to implant dentistry across Canada.
Right.
And then we're all over the States and other countries. And it allows us to teach here, but also use this as a center for courses and also for like live surgical programs, because we have a couple of those running in the next little while where people that we provide patients for people to come do surgery, or they come here and bring their own patients. So we have a lot of avenues. This floor on in 777 West Broadway has now become like we can do everything.
It's like the BC Perio floor.
Yeah, there's only one unit there. I almost took it last week, but no, there's no reason for it yet. Until Angus tells me he wants more room for his lab. But it's been a fun journey. It's been a lot of work.
And adding Angus has been great.
It's
Angus.
Angus.
Wealth of knowledge,
He's one of my best friends in the world, man. He's a fantastic gentleman, and also he's just he's just so smart. He's just so smart. Yeah, it's awesome. So this, like I always tell people, they said, isn't it hard to keep everyone in wraps, and like how does everyone work together, and you have so many egos under one roof, and people want to do it one way or the other.
Sounds like my house.
Yeah, exactly. and I just say to them, I said, listen, we don't. The one thing we do is we have to all stay humble. So what we do is like most of the time when you're a dentist, you're the king of your castle or queen of your castle in your little tiny village, and no one's ever looking over your shoulder checking what you're doing or anything else, right? This is a very humbling office, because my work, whatever I do, will be seen by the other people on the office. So the other specialists will see it too. So when we do that, we all check each other, we all make sure we're running well, and then it also allows us to collaborate together in the same room. Like our doctor's office room is not little cubicles, it's one big open room. Mm-hmm. We can't get away from each other, and sometimes you want to.
When I come in, I'll come into your office and I'll see there'll be 3 of you guys looking at a computer screen. I'll be like, wow, there's 3 prosthodontists looking at one case.
Exactly.
That's mind-blowing.
And that's what I mean. So like when a patient comes in, for a free consult and a free CT scan, I think it's amazing. But they get to see 2, sometimes 3 specialists, or in one session for free. They don't get that somewhere else. And on top of that, think about the expertise you get on your case. Like when someone says, well, I could do it this way or this way, how about this and this? And then you come up with a plan. That plan's been checked by 3 specialists already, right? In one roof, and doing it under collaboration that wants the best for the patient. Do you know what I mean? Like it happened today 6 times. I get pulled into an operatory, I bring Dr. Munz into an operatory, or Dr. Edher comes into an operatory, and we sit down, we look at a patient together. What do you think? I think this, let's go. And the service that's provided and the level of care, it's pretty awesome.
So for our patients that are watching, so can you just take a second to walk us through what does a periodontist do? What does a prosthodontist do? Like, what's the difference? And like, I mean, these are 2 specialty areas.
Yeah.
So for us, I mean, for me, like before I ever got into dental, I don't know what a periodontist does.
Absolutely.
I don't know what a prosthodontist.
People don't even know what it is now. It's so when you go to just like in medicine, when you go through dental school, medical school's 4 years, right? And then you decide what kind of medical doctor you're going to be. Are you going to be a family doctor? You take 2 more years. Are you going to be an emergency medicine physician like my brother, or an ophthalmologist? And you go through whatever those residency programs are to become specialists, right? In dentistry, it doesn't really work that way. After 4 years, you're a dentist. Okay, you don't really, in Canada, it's not mandatory for you to get a residency done at all. You're just a dentist after 4 years of dental school. A specialist in dentistry, like an orthodontist or oral surgeon or oral pathologist, has to go to like 2 to 4 to 6 more years of schooling afterwards, right?
To get their specialty.
To get their specialty degree.
Right.
So like I did 2 3-year programs to become a dual specialist, to become a periodontist and a prosthodontist. Now, periodontist is someone that deals with gums and periodontal disease, but it's expanded now to become pretty much a surgeon of the entire mouth. We're doing everything related to a dental implant, everything to do with bone grafting and taking out teeth and everything else. So pretty much from a surgical standpoint, in our office, we're doing everything. We don't do a lot of wisdom teeth, we don't remove cancer, that kind of stuff, but in general, we're not moving jaws, but in general, everything else surgically that's needed, we can do as periodontist, right?
Right.
As a prosthodontist is like a super general dentist, I always say. There's someone who's gone through training to learn more about how to treat the most complex cases, learn about people's bites, their smile design, how to do something cosmetic and full mouth reconstructions, or just a rehabilitation or fix all their teeth, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we combine those two in one office, we have the ability now to do whatever we need to do in terms of foundation. I always think of it as like building a house, right? You build a house, you want the house to look beautiful, and you want a pool, you want a master man cave, you want a beautiful master bedroom, a beautiful kitchen, right? You design all that. That's what the prosthodontist does. Prosthodontist sits there, designs all that. The general contractor, I want this done at the end, so my patient. This is what my patient wants. Make my patient happy, right? Yeah. And then the periodontist or the surgeons in our office, they go lay the foundation. They go do all the work to make sure that the prosthodontist can make it look the way it should at the end. That's why it's called teeth in one day, not implants in one day.
Right. So it's all to do with your gums, right? So they're putting the implants in, they're bone grafting, anything to support whatever prosthetic is going to go on top.
Exactly. Whatever is needed to make the teeth look beautiful in the end,
right,
and to have the patient be happy to be able to chew and eat what they want, but also just really look good. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Okay. And then and having your own lab on site, I mean, that must really speed up the turnaround time. So if I'm coming in, I'm like, hey, I need an implant, I need a bridge put on top, or something put on top of it. Like, you can turn that around a
much
lot faster by having a lab in-house, right?
It allows us to, having an in-house lab, especially the way that we have it, because at this point we have almost a commercial lab. We have an in-house lab with multiple screens, multiple printers, multiple mills, everything, and multiple lab technicians. We have a great team, but it allows us to not have to send someone to get a custom shade. We don't have to send something out to the lab. When it comes to whatever, and the other thing too that I really love is I have quality control. Like, I know what type of material 100% I'm putting in someone's mouth. I know where I got it because I bought it. I know how it's being milled because I'm milling it. I know what material I'm printing because I'm printing it.
You're making it from the ground up.
We're making it from the ground up. So when I put something in someone's mouth, I know for sure what it's made of, how it's made, what's the long-term warranty on it, and what are the pros and cons and what's good and bad about it. And that allows us not to do something just because we're trying to sell these things to mass people that are trying to buy it. We're doing it individual. Someone comes in, and we not only do we have control over the surgery and also the prosthetics, I have control over the materials and how we do it. So in the end, I can design. It's like being able to design whatever car you want, right? For whoever comes in, it's pretty awesome. So you can come in and say, man, this patient's going to get teeth in one day. Great. There's 40 different ways I can make that bridge,
right? And
it's fantastic. So now having control over that is great. The other big thing it allows us to do is be much more accurate. So like, we 3D print all of our surgical guides in-house. We print so many things to allow us to be much more digital, much more streamlined. And you know how digital we are across our office.
I was going to get to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Marc?
Yeah, I was going to go into how the digital world.
I can see you over here like, I want to go.
Yeah, I know you adopt every technology that comes out. Like, talk to us about how that's changed your world.
Sure. So, I speak a lot, lecturing, giving talks throughout the world, and one of the ones I love giving right now is digital technology, and like, is it worth it? The reason why I would say that is, I don't know about you, but right now people like to buy nice cars, whether it's a Tesla or you're getting like a super nice car, right? Because you can lease them, and the lease isn't so bad, so you can lease them, right?
I can afford this electric car.
You can afford it. It's a lease, right? It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, that's the buyout? Oh.
Right, and then just lease again.
That's right.
So the thing about it is that you get all these bells and whistles in your car, right? You get like the heat, the seat warmer, the seat cooler. You get all these fancy things in your car.
Yeah.
But 80% of the stuff you don't use.
It's true.
Right? 80%, like all this technology in your car, in the end, you only need pretty much, if you could select perfectly, I want these 6 things in my car, and you use those 6 things all the time, that's it. Yeah. But you get everything else with it, right? All the bells and whistles, and you don't necessarily use it, right?
I never use that back windshield wiper.
Exactly, right?
Ever.
So when it comes to digital technology in dentistry, it's no different. Right now, everyone wants to get a digital iOS scanner, which means like a digital impressioning system. Like, we wave a wand, use a video, color, all that stuff, right?
Instead of impressions.
Right, instead of impressions. Instead of the goop in your mouth, right? Or they take a CT scan, or they use digital x-rays. Now there's ones where you don't even need like a tube from the wall. You can just like use a gun and shoot and be able to do it, right?
It's portable x-ray unit.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? The thing about it is that a lot of times people have the technology and they don't even know how to use it, or they don't know all the things that are possible with it, right? And so that's one of the things that I think the technology for me, truthfully, like right now, like when someone comes in and they want to do a smile design, right? And they want to say, listen, I don't want to know what my bridge is going to look like, or what my teeth are going to look like, my veneers, my implants, what it's going to look like when it's done. I put their head in an iPad, And then we just start shifting through different teeth, not in
that's
someone
right, I've
else's
seen that.
face,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
in their own face.
Right.
And they said, "You like this one? I like this one." Okay, we stop there, and then we pause, and then we start shaping and coloring and
So you
moving.
can pick how your teeth are
You
going to
can
look.
pick exactly what you want them to look like at the end. Now, is it going to be exactly like that in the end? It's going to be close,
Yeah.
Right.
within reason or whatever's possible. But think about the communication, right? I don't have to sell it to you. I don't have to say, "Oh, we're going to make it look beautiful. Don't worry, don't worry. Look at my before and after photos on my website,"
Yeah.
right? It's not someone else's mouth. It's your mouth, and it's your face. So when it comes to the reaction of that and the technology behind that, like, it's amazing, right? So and then to communicate that to my lab tech and my technicians when they're building the teeth, it's so easy. They're like, "Well, that's what she wants, and that's what it looks like in her face. I got it. Let's
know
do it."
exactly how that's
right?
gotta look.
And so that's, I think, for me, digital technology. Yes, it's more accurate in times. Yes, it makes things a bit faster at times. But for sure, the biggest thing that technology does for us is it helps us communicate better.
Yeah,
like
right.
way better. Like because it's no longer like a photo. It's like real-time VR, or it's like color video, or even a CT scan that moves and shapes. Like, there's so much technology that communicates. And when you can communicate that with your patients, first of all, they don't see that ever. And when they come into our office and they get a free CT scan, I'm planning whatever we're going to do on the CT scan in front of them. They get to watch it. They're like, "I've never seen that before. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
It's incredible.
I feel like this is amazing. It's incredible, right?"
Yeah.
But it's been around for 15 years, man.
So where are
Right.
we going then? What's next?
Yeah.
The next thing for sure, going forward, is going to be robotics is going to be much more prolific in dentistry.
AI.
DDI right now is we own the first raw robot that helps place dental implants.
No kidding.
And it's in Florida, so and it's so.
So it's a robot
It's
that
a robot.
places
It's a,
implants.
it's a robot that comes in, has an arm, and you guide it.
This
and
is
then
Buck Rogers right here, folks. This is
and
crazy.
when it comes down, like, it's fantastic, right? Is it perfect? No. Is it kind of slow? Yes.
Yeah.
That being said, it's a robot.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It will get there. Where we're going to get eventually is that right now we're in the, and it's not going to stop. We're becoming the human beings of instant gratification. I want it now. I want it
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
so
Forget
true.
now. I want it, like, they want Amazon Prime. I want Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Right? I want to think about it and get it now,
Yeah.
right? And so it's one of those things where digital technology will allow us to do that for dentistry, right?
Right.
Whether you have someone with the ability to print something or mail something quickly, you'll be able to do stuff in one day, not just implants in one day. You might be able to do like final restorations in one day all the time. There's a lot of things that are going to come down the pipe that will bring costs of dentistry down too. The reason why is because the intricate details of how we do it, technology will bridge the gap a lot of the times.
Right.
So we're already seeing that in clear aligners, in clear correct and smile design and orthodontics, with Invisalign, right?
Right.
But also we're going to see that definitely in prosthetics and cosmetic work going forward. So we're going to see much more digital technology. It's going to help us communicate better, but it's also going to help us be faster, quicker, more accurate. And there's going to be AI involved. Like right now,
Yeah, it's a big buzzword.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's-
talking about AI and, oh man, AI, what's going to happen with that? And it's sort of, for me, we see it. Like, I see, like, I've been to the States and I've been to labs and some clinics in the States, and that word's coming up now a lot.
yeah.
And I don't know what the implications of that are. I mean, I think of Terminator, right? I think of Judgment Day and
He's
going,
going to
well,
be
wait,
working on our teeth.
this robot that's putting implants in my mouth, is it okay? Am I the servant
I
here?
will-
Like, what's
I will-
happening?
Listen, I'll tell you that AI right now is not just a buzzword. It's going to become a reality. So it'll become a reality in other industries and medicine too.
Absolutely.
Think of one thing right now. When we take an X-ray, it used to be I look up at the screen, the doctor with the X-ray up on the screen, and you're like, oh my gosh, right? And now it's a digital one on the screen, right? Now it'll be a digital one, and then the computer already reads.
Right.
Already reads it and says, look here, doctor, there's a cavity. Look here, this is some pathology, and already do it. The research now indicates that the AI reading of an X-ray is better than humans most times.
Right.
We
Right.
miss stuff. We're human.
Of course.
We're not perfect, right? We miss stuff, right?
That wasn't a shadow. That was a cat.
Yeah, we miss stuff, right? Whereas the ability for AI to do that is going to be amazing. The AI will also allow us to, when we're treatment planning things or when we're looking at things, they're going to be able to do things that we don't know. Like today, right now, we still don't know. Let's say someone comes in, they have a lower molar, they are this age, and the tooth is broken down this much. We don't know in dentistry what's the best material to put on that crown. We don't. We just say, okay, well, I'll use one of 3 materials, and I think that's why, because it's what I use always, and it works best in my hands. But it's not actual evidence. Like in medicine, they have that. right?
Yeah.
They have protocols because they can tabulate all the information, and they know, well, someone comes in, they have a heart attack, boom, STEMI, and this is what we do. We put a stent in 48 minutes, and we're done.
Right.
It's amazing.
Right.
In dentistry, we don't do that because you go to one dentist's office and you go to the next dentist's office. They're using different materials, different stuff, different trains of thought.
Some sales rep has told them something.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, and the sales rep, you don't know about this, so what does everyone else use? I'll get that, right?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where we're going to see AI help bridge that gap as we go forward because it will be able to tabulate information.
It'll tell you what material you're putting
It'll
in
tell.
there.
It'll tell.
Less of a guess.
Exactly. It'll tell you basically say the best problem material to use is this.
Right.
Going forward, and it'll have the information at its fingertips that you as a human would never be able to have.
Yeah, because it's drawing from a database.
Exactly. And then,
But I mean, like even in your office, like we're already seeing that, like with the mills and the scanners and the printers that you have, like that mill is telling you what type of burr is going to be, and this is getting technical, but it's guiding you and saying, well, here's the material, here's the tool that's going
Absolutely.
on. The machine is doing it, and it's making decisions on what type of tool to use on that material. Like this
awesome.
stuff really fascinates me.
Like right now, one of the things that we have in our office is real-time guided surgery. And so what that basically means is that when I'm doing surgery, there's cameras that we have up that are mounted that are visualizing something in someone's mouth that tells me 100% of the time when you have my burr or my handpiece or my drill in the tooth or in the bone where I'm at in 3 dimensions at all times. So it's basically you set the target on the three dimensions on the software before you start. And then it's target practice. And it tells you when you're off kilter, what you're doing. So in general, it's guiding you in real time.
In real time, yeah.
How to go, where to go, what to do.
Because it's not just a guide. Like if you put a guide on it, that's really cool. So like the 3D stuff, the guided, the what do you call that thing? Sorry,
so it's called, so there's lots of different names out there, but in general, the technology is called real-time guided surgery. So it's like GPS.
Okay.
Right? So you set your GPS now. For me, I'm a big Waze guy. I love Waze. So like you set your GPS and it just tells you where to go with traffic, what's going on, right? This, you set the target as what you want to do, where you want to place an implant, what do you want to do in terms of a tooth. And then what it does is that as you're going along, your handpiece, it tells you where you are while you're doing it.
So it's giving you like real-time 3D spatial awareness.
Absolutely. So it's like target practice.
That is
so
cool.
So in general, the research has showed that the real-time guided surgery and then using like the static 3D printed guides, there's not a lot of difference in the accuracy reproducibility when you like keep on doing it all the time. That being said, they're both technologies that we're going to see more and more use. In the end, the biggest limitation we have in the mouth is the fact that it's a small space.
Right.
We can't fit everything in the mouth. So you imagine if you have technology, if it's really big, you're never going to get it in. Right. And on top of that, it's hard to visualize everything. Think about taking a scanner. Why do we do it from a buccal to lingual and take a look and using an iOS scanner to try to scan all the teeth like in a 3D way? It's hard because it's a small space. In the back, it's hard to see. And the upper back, it's hard to see. And so that's why we dentists use mirrors and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the only limitation for all the technology. And I think going forward, we'll see more of it and more of it get adopted.
What do you think, if you were to look at all the technologies, because you have everything.
Yep.
Okay, so you have CBCT, you got printers, you got mills, you got scanners all over the place. So
and lasers.
And lasers. So we're going to wrap up here in a minute, but before we do, I want to ask you, what technology do you think is leading the race right now? Like if someone was to put their money somewhere, and this might be a bit of a guess, but for me, I'm always asking that question because I'm like, as a sales rep, as a sales expert at a large company like Henry Schein, I'm always asking myself, hey, like where's this going? What's the next big thing to take off?
Are you talking about like on a GP level?
On a GP level, for dentists. So if I'm a patient and I'm like, what's cool in dentistry? Like they're talking about these self-growing teeth now, which I think is that's again Buck Rogers stuff. I'm like, how do you grow teeth in someone's mouth? That's crazy. But for me, I guess the question is like, what is it? Printers? Is it milling? Is it scanners? Like, or are they all kind of moving at the same rate? I guess it seems to me like printers are kind of moving at a faster rate than everything else.
The printers are moving at a faster rate than anything else because of the price point. Right. Because it's less expensive. You spend $4,000 on a printer, $5,000 on a printer. It's inexpensive. The average dentist was willing to spend that much money and can afford it. Right? So you're going to see printers move quickly because of that. We still don't see that many printers being sold. Right. And the reason being is not because the technology is not there. It's just us. The limiting factor most of the time is the dentist. The reason why is because the dentist is like, I'm so bogged down with running my business, driving my Ferrari, everything else, right? So it's there's just only so many hours in the day. Yeah. There's only so much brain capacity, right? So in my humble opinion, going forward, technology that that will get you the most patients as we go forward. I was looking at other markets. Like in Manhattan right now, there's a prosthodontic practice and a dental practice that I know that do really well. They don't even do any surgery, okay? And all they do is they're fully digital office. Someone comes in, digital photos, use an iPad, smile design, they've got
the 3D thing that you do.
Yeah, digital impression the patient. They get everything planned. They will sit down, prep teeth, digital scan, and they will mill those teeth and put them in someone's mouth one day. Okay, and they have a lab in house that'll even stack porcelain if they got to make something a little bit beautiful or sexy. People will fly in from other countries, get it done in Manhattan, and leave. People do that in Dubai right now and in Beverly Hills, right? And so, going forward, the whole being able to digitally impression and then mill something, and not like a big like lab mill. Like the new mills that are coming out are really small,
very compact,
and they're portable. They don't even need outside air. You can just take them anywhere, right?
The size of a microwave.
Yeah, exactly. Not even that. The new ones are even smaller than that, and you can mill anything, right?
Yeah.
So the portability of that and the instant gratification of that for patients from a general dentist office is astronomical. But the limiting factor is going to be us as dentists, because they have to get their mind around the fact that either they need to be able to do it, spend the time and really love it, train their staff to do so, or they're going to have to hire someone. Just like I hired Angus, another lab technician. I think going forward, the place for a lab technician in the future will be in dental offices. And you might see a technician work between 2 or 3 offices, because they're going to help run the technology that we have.
Right.
Because it's not like dentistry's become less complex. It's not like the dentist has to do less in the chair with patients, but now we have to also worry about all that extra stuff, and that's just room for another person to come and help you in the office.
Right.
And so for me, I love this stuff. I'm a big dental nerd that way, but I also have Angus, right? And so I have someone who helps me with that technology all the time. We work and talk together, but I do my thing and he does his thing, and then we meet in the middle and collaborate, and then we know a lot about what each other does, and we could do it, but I don't have to worry about the integration as much and all that other stuff, because that's where he lives.
Because you're constantly evolving.
Exactly.
And he's going out, and he's going to lab shows, and he's seeing the latest porcelain.
And he's speaking on it
whatever.
stuff, he's teaching it, all that stuff, right? But what's beauty about it is that in the future, technology is going to take us really far. 3D printing will surpass milling within 5 years.
I agree.
When the additive type of technology to manufacture and construct worldwide will always supersede a subtractive one, right? That's just nature of life. And
When we
nature.
say milling and printing, we're actually talking about creating the crown. So how does the crown,
or the denture, or the bridge, or whatever, right?
How are they getting manufactured?
So when something's milled, you have a block and you have to carve it out. That's pretty much
milling
it is.
a tooth out.
Yeah, and when it's printed, you're just building it and making it out of nothing, right? So 3D printing will surpass milling worldwide in all industries. I personally think that 3D printing will get rid of world hunger at some point.
Yeah.
They'll be able to 3D print food. It's going to taste horrible, but guess what?
beginning,
It'll give you calories.
It'll give
Yeah.
you nutrients.
Yeah.
It'll give you nutrients.
I fully agree.
So I think going forward, 3D printing will surpass milling. That being said, the integration of being able to digital impression and give someone their restorations in 1 day or 2 days maybe, that is the future.
Right.
That is the future in all dental offices, all dental offices that provide that service. And eventually it's going to get to a point where that will become the way to do
It'll
it.
be the norm.
Yeah, it'll be the norm.
Standard.
And you will only send things to the lab that are larger or need that more intricate detail. And of course, that'll cost more to do so. But on a day-to-day basis, we're going to see more and more of that as we go forward. And the only way that it's going to get adopted is not because the dentists are not going to do everything because they're going to spend more time in the clinic. No, they have to hire someone.
And that's what that means. So if you go into your dental office and they say we do SameDay Dentistry here, that's really what they mean. They're going to scan and do it because you're like, oh man, I need a crown done. I don't want to wait 2 weeks to get it back. I don't want a temporary. So when your dentist says I can do SameDay Dentistry, that means they're going to scan it and they're going to mill that tooth in their CEREC or in their mill, whatever mill they have.
Yeah.
And you're going to walk out of that office that day with a crown in your mouth. So
And you're going to go home and your Amazon Prime will be sitting.
That's right.
You'll be doing Amazon Prime while they're
Yeah,
that's right.
they're seeding the final restoration in your mouth.
And you see it in markets where like they're not willing to wait. You know, there's a classic YouTube video with David Letterman where he says, "Why do I have to wait?
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta wait 2 weeks for my crown.
Yeah,
Why?"
exactly. All that he went off, right?
Yeah,
but he's like, why? Like it's like we can do microsurgery through someone's belly button, and people are going to the moon, but I got to wait 2 days for my crown or 2
remember
weeks for my
saying
crown.
that, yeah.
It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But he's absolutely right. Right? Like when someone says, people come into my office all the time, we say we do teeth in 1 day. They're like, really? How do you do that 1 day? I said, if you get a prosthetic hip right now, you walk that thing. That's a whole hip.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a little tiny screw and put a tooth on it.
Yeah.
It's not such a big deal, right? But in general, the instant gratification, doing it in one day, there are benefits. It's not just about being a cowboy and being advanced. There are benefits to it. The faster you get in, we know in surgery, and the faster you get out, the less trauma you make, the better off you're going to be. The less times you have to mess with the patient and the less procedures you got to do, the better off it is over time. And it's for the patient, whoever the person is getting it done, dude, I can do anything for one day. You know what I mean?
They're busy.
Yeah.
Right? If you get it done in one day, I'm like, I'm coming to you.
Exactly.
I want it done in one day. I don't want to come back 3 times.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where the single day procedure, whether we're doing implants or restorative work or anything else, if they can get something done and it happens quickly and still they're happy with the result and it's repeatable and good quality for them, that's the future. The future in dentistry is going to be much more integration, and technology is going to carry us where we do really good work. It's just going to be faster and more one-stop shops.
Love it.
Yeah. Awesome.
We could talk all day.
I hear you, buddy.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up. How can we reach you? Like, give us some plugs. Give us
Oh,
your
sure.
website.
So come to bcperio.ca. That's bcperio.ca. It's also teethinOneDay.com. Both of those run to BC Perio website. You can also visit the Digital Dentistry Institute if you want to get into some digital dentistry and some education. It's ddidental.com. And then if you want to come check out BC ProSpace, it's bcprospace.com. So if you have any other questions, come visit this website, and you can call our number for BC Perio, 604-872-0222.
Killing it here in Vancouver.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Always, man. Take care.
Again, that's another podcast for Dentist on Demand, A Day in the Life. So, A Day in the Life of Dr. Bobby Birdi. We will do more of this.
I hear you, buddy.
Okay.